Hi guys, this is IGCSE O-Level Chemistry, paper 12, March 2015, question 1. A crystal of purple potassium manganate 7 was added to each of the beakers shown in the diagram. So in one we have hot water, in the other we have cold water. On one beaker contained hot water and the other contained cold water. Okay. In both beakers, the purple color of the potassium manganate 7 spreads out, which results and explanation are correct. Color spreads faster in cold water. No, color should spread faster in hot water. So this eliminates options A and B. So explanation. C says particles move faster at a higher temperature, which is correct because temperature is directly proportional to the kinetic energy possessed by the molecules. The greater the temperature, the greater the kinetic energy, hence the greater the movement. And option D says particles move slower at higher temperature. This eliminates option D and makes option C the correct option for this question. Question 2. During a reaction, the following changes take place. The temperature rises, a gas is given off. Which apparatus is required to measure the rate of this reaction? So a balance and a burette? No, both of them are not required. A balance and a gas syringe? Balance is not required. Gas syringe is required to collect the gas. Gas syringe and burette? Gas syringe is required. Burette is not required. And gas syringe and stopwatch. So a gas syringe is required to collect the gas and a stopwatch is required to measure the rate of gas collection. Therefore, option D is the correct option for this question. Question 3. Which statement about bonding is not correct? Carbon can form 4 single covalent bonds? Yes. CH4. We have carbon forming 4 single covalent bonds with 4 separate hydrogen atoms. Chlorine atoms react to gain a noble gas electronic structure. Yes, chlorine gains an electron to go from having 17 electrons to 18 electrons. And 18 electrons is the same as the electronic structure of argon, which is a noble gas. So this is correct. Covalent bonding involves losing and gaining of electrons. No, it involves sharing of electrons. Hydrogen molecules have the formula H2. Yes, hydrogen single bond is present between two hydrogen atoms. So this makes option C the correct option for this question. Question 4. The table shows the numbers of particles present in the nuclei of 4 atoms or ions. So the first particle has 18 protons, 22 neutrons, and an electronic structure of 288. Therefore, it belongs to group 8. It is a noble gas. 2 has protons 19, neutrons 20, and is also a noble gas because its electronic structure is 288. The next one is having 19 protons, 21 neutrons, and has an electronic structure of 2881, making it an element from group 1. And the last one has 20 protons, 20 neutrons, and an electronic structure of 2882, making it an element from group 2. So, which two particles belong to the same element? Which two particles belong to the same element? So, this should be, they should have the same number of protons. So they have the same number of protons. They should have different number of neutrons. These two have different number of neutrons. And one of them has an electronic structure having one additional electron and the other has one lesser electron. That means it is also an ion. So it is an isotope as well as an ion. So protons and neutrons make these two particles isotopes. And this electronic structure makes them, in fact, makes particle 2 an ion. So particle 3 is the atom, particle 2 is its ion. So which two particles belong to the same element? Particles 2 and 3. So this makes option C the correct option for this question. Question 5. Which substance is an ionic compound? So its volatility has to be low. So this eliminates options A and B. Its electric conductivity when molten must be good. So this eliminates option D. And its solubility in water should be soluble. So option C is the correct option for this question. Question 6. Covalent bonds are formed when electrons are, options are shared and transferred. So shared is correct, eliminating options C and D. And most covalent compounds have dash electrical conductivity. A covalent compound would have low electrical conductivity. So this eliminates option A. Which words correctly complete gaps 1 and 2? So the correct option for this question is option B. Question 7. Which equation for the reaction between sodium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid is correct? So sodium carbonate solid is present in all four equations. HCl. So since we have 2 Na, we should have 2 HCl. So this eliminates options A and B. And this produces NaCl. So 2 moles of Na and 2 moles of Cl will produce 2 moles of NaCl. So option C has been eliminated. It would produce carbon dioxide, it would produce water, making equation in option D the correct equation. Question 8. The diagram shows an electrolysis experiment. Okay, during the electrolysis, sodium was formed at electrode P. Sodium was formed. So sodium is formed when Na positive ion accepts an electron to form Na. That means this is the cathode, because cathode is where reduction takes place. And chlorine at electrode Q. Chlorine is formed when 2 moles of chloride ions are converted into chlorine gas by giving off 2 moles of electrons. Since electrons are lost, this is the anode. Which row correctly identifies P, Q, and X? So P is the cathode, eliminating options A and B. Q is the anode, and X is the electrolyte is, it should be NaCl liquid or molten NaCl, because had it been NaCl dissolved in water, instead of sodium, hydrogen gas would have been produced, whether the solution of NaCl was dilute or concentrated. So this has to be molten NaCl. So option C says concentrated solution of sodium chloride in water. No. And option D says molten sodium chloride, making option D the correct option for this question. Question 9. The diagram shows apparatus for plating a spoon with silver. Okay. We've got a metal electrode, we've got a spoon, and we've got an electrolyte. Which statement is not correct? Silver would stick to the spoon because it is a very reactive metal. No, silver is a very less reactive metal. It is not a highly reactive metal. So this is incorrect, and this should be the answer. Next, the electrolyte would be a silver salt dissolved in water. Yes, an aqueous silver salt. The metal electrode would be made of from silver. Yes, because we are silver plating. So the anode must be silver metal. The spoon would be connected to the negative terminal of the power supply. Negative terminal would be the cathode, where reduction would take place, and silver ions would accept electron and deposit on the spoon as silver metal. So this is correct as well. Therefore, option A is the correct option for this question. Question 10. Limestone can be changed into slacked lime in two chemical reactions. So limestone is CaCO3 and slacked lime is CaOH twice. Okay. When limestone is heated, it decomposes into lime. Okay. Heated and it decomposes. Okay. Water is slowly dripped onto the cool lime. The lime appears to expand and steam is produced. Slack lime is formed. Okay. Which row shows the correct description of each of the chemical reactions? So since heat is required in the first reaction, it should be endothermic, eliminating options C and D. And in reaction 2, when water is placed onto CaO, steam is produced. That means heat is given off. That is why steam is produced. So when heat is given off, that means the reaction is exothermic. This eliminates option A and makes option B the correct option for this question.